homelessness every day. People living on the streets, asking for money, sleeping outside. The reality is that a large part of our homeless population here in Sacramento are families with children. We don't often see them. They're hiding. They're sleeping in cars, in motels, living day to day. For them, when they wake up in the morning, they often don't know where they're going to sleep at night. What they do know is that wherever they are, this isn't home.
I actually have a great idea.
What is that?
You drop me off, and then when school's over, you pick me up, and then drop me off at the motel.
That's what the plan is.
Mom, I am excited and scared at the same time, so that makes shy. It exactly makes shy. It's really been an hour. No. It's not even raining. It's sprinkling. Holy flip, that scared me. That freaking scared me. Mom, come on.
You ever have moments where, you kind of look at him and you think, like, I just want better for him?
Oh, every day. Every day. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you deserve everything. Like, everything. You deserve everything. Like, he wants to do so many things. And he's 6. He's like, I want to go and, like, do it. Like, he wants to act. He wants to, like, be on cooking shows, like, where they have the little kids and they cook, like, on Food Network. He has really big goals, and I'm like, yes, I'm all for it. Like, let's do it. Just, I need to find my own way to get stable so we can do these things. Like,
how hard is it really to have a child and be going from place to place and kind of living out of a suitcase?
It's exhausting, and, like, it sucks. It feels like I start, like, really feeling those judgments that other people have placed. Like, I am obviously a piece of shit. Like, I am not, like, the poster mom, and it sucks. People still look at you like you're disgusting, or like you're a failure, like you just fail at life. Like, and it's so crazy because it's not till like they look you in the eyes, you just feel that like emotion from them, or however they're like, whatever they're feeling, like project onto you, and you're just like, like, I'm sorry for being here. Like, I'm sorry.
But you just said, I'm sorry. Do you feel sometimes like...
I feel like I'm just like in the way.
And you feel like it almost is something you have to apologize for? Hey.
Today's been a really long day, and I had his dad go pick him up because I didn't think we'd both make it to the school in time.
Clouds go down and make it foggy.
Yeah, they did. Remember yesterday? Daddy went to the other side.
Yeah, sneaky daddy.
You ever worry about him out here?
I do. I will never leave him out here by himself. So.
Have you ever had
But
any?
did
You
this-
ever had any
but
issues
did
with
this leave?
other campers around here?
Nobody's bothered us. I mean,
Seems like you have a pretty secluded spot here,
Yeah.
just kind of by yourself.
we try to stay away from as many people as possible because we don't know what everyone else does, and I want to keep them sheltered from that as much as possible.
So this is Mustard Seed School here in Sacramento. The only requirement to be a student here is that you have to be homeless. Both Gavin and Archangel are going to be starting here. They'll be in a classroom together for the first time this morning.
Right here. So can you write an H down here?
So I've been working at Mustard Seed and Loaves and Fishes since 2009.
Good job!
So Mustard Seed is here because a lot of kids are missing school due to homelessness. Like when we were founded, families started to come to Loaves and Fishes for the meal, and the volunteers figured out many children are missing school due to homelessness.
Yeah, whenever you're like upset.
Do you like the Peace Corner? Yeah.
We have something called a toolbox. You can see kind of evidence of it over here where it says our hopes and cares. The kids have a space to put some of the things they might be thinking about or worrying about. We talk about that in class.
1, 2, 3, go!
You know, when I first started, most families were able to stay indoors for the most part. You know, they were mostly couch surfing or in shelter. Right now, that is just almost has flipped. They can still be couch surfing, but it's much more frequent for them to be in motels. It's much more frequent for families to have to spend nights in cars or outside. Yeah, I think the Sacramento community as a whole, the city, the county, I think everybody wants to help. They want this to not be an issue, but I do believe that there are far, far, far more families waiting for shelter than spots available. Like probably hundreds and hundreds more families than the available spots.
And 3, 2. So Courtney and Stephanie both got vouchers to stay at local motels for the next 3 nights. So at least for now, they don't have to worry about where their kids are going to sleep. The problem is that when these vouchers run out in 3 nights at the end of the week, neither one of them has a plan. So they'll have to figure out all over again how to make sure their kids don't sleep on the streets.
What you doing?
Cut it that way.
They want to record you. I'm gonna head out this way. Stay in there, please. Sorry.
I know my grandma saw that because my grandma liked to do that.
You have a pretty long way. How long are you going to go?
I'm going to take my bike and go through 39th Street.
It's about 7 miles.
I'm used to it.
That's a normal bike ride for you?
Well, I've ridden further. Oh yeah, he loves riding downhill. Yeah. He likes to tell me, ride faster, ride faster. You can break free now, monster. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. Leave your shoe if you have to. Are you stuck? He'll be here.
He was going to check on the tent, too?
Yes, and to make sure that someone can move it in the event that there's a flood.
How much of a relief is it to know you got 3 days in a bed?
Well, it's a short break, but anything's better than not being sure whether or not we're going to have a tree fall on us at any time. Thank you. Just a key.
So have you been here before?
No.
This is the
We've-
first time at this one?
Yeah, we've passed this one, but never actually been here. We found the room.
Mommy, supposed to come here and see it.
You found it.
I bet this one's cockroach free. Oh, nice. Different. The bathroom's on the other side of the room. I'll give you a cup first. Part of doing life on the river and anywhere else is still catering to your child, making sure that they are happy. That kind of gets complicated sometimes, especially when it comes to terms of entertainment. When they're used to having TV and internet, they miss the things they can't have. And I told him before we became like this that one day we might not have it. So he should appreciate it while we had it. And well, he didn't listen, but he learned, and he's learning now.
So the last time you were housed was in West Sacramento?
Yes, we spend our Christmas outside, but needless to say, I had help, and I had a bunch of Christmas things that Santa was able to find us. Here.
I only have these stuff.
Oh, Mr. Picky, Mr. Picky.
It is true that some homelessness is caused by drug problems or alcohol problems or mental health issues. The number one overwhelming reason why people are homeless is economic. 75% of people say the reason I'm homeless is because I lost my job, I lost some income. This is my 35th year of working on homeless issues. I've done a zillion surveys of people experiencing homelessness, and 98% say, are you kidding me? It's you're laying in the dirt, you're getting rained on, you're getting yelled at and getting citations and bug bites and all the rest of it. So it's awful conditions. Families tend to be more in hiding.
So when we see like the 3,600 number and people think, double it, okay. Because people.
I always use a range. Somewhere between 5,000 and 7,500 about. The school system counts about 13,000, and out of that number, 12% are either sleeping with their parents in their car, out on the street, in a motel, or in a shelter. So that's more than 1,000 children.
How did we get here?
Well, for communities basically on the West Coast and broadly defined, from Colorado and then up and down the state, Washington, Oregon, California, etc., have all seen pretty significant increases in homelessness in the last couple of years, and the driver is the high price of housing.
Wow.
And that could be as high as 50% in rural areas. And they just did another study that said there's a direct relationship between if you're paying more than 30% of your income in either mortgage or rent, you're at high risk of becoming homeless.
And then we go to the park. We could play together while doing the interview. We're going to the park. He's a master. It's really high from the ground, and I think I'm gonna fall. Please don't.
Okay, wait. You're gonna fall if I don't. Oh, are you okay?
Are you okay?
That's okay.
How is the motel?
So far, so good.
So far, so good?
Except that that mom's not letting me go to the freaking vending machine. Because I'm always hungry and I want to go to the vending machine.
Can I ask you a question,
Yeah.
Gavin?
I'm listening.
Do you know what it means to be homeless? Do you know what that means?
Yes, it means you don't have a house. You're houseless.
Okay.
And you're going motel to motel to motel to motel, and you're living on the street if you don't have enough money for a motel.
I know you guys have stayed at motels, and I know you guys are at one now.
I know Mom doesn't want us to sleep on the road and be like, just like cold. Yeah.
But you told me that Mom has tried her best to make sure that you guys are not on the street at night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's really cold.
That would be much harder, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes I leave my stuff.
You got to bring your stuff from one motel to another, huh?
Yes, it's really getting on my nerves. No, because we have to walk there. And Mom doesn't have enough money for Uber sometimes.
It's not easy, huh?
Yeah, it's not easy. Mom, do my eyes look baggy?
Yes. A little bit. Like, extremely. Look at all those bags.
They're not even bags. I want to keep some.
You can
Okay.
if you brush your teeth.
I rinse my toothbrush.
Okay, you need to follow instructions. We're good. We're good. Okay, you literally have no toothpaste. I don't.
Oh, I see it sparkling from the water.
Do you ever have vulnerable moments where you kind of break down?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like yesterday. That was yesterday before we even went down to Mary House. Like, yeah, I was freaking out. Like, I was just so like numb, staring at the cars, like just passing the people passing. I'm like, this is like it. This is bottom. Like, this is it. And like my son's here. Like, what? And it's not like, oh, this is what I pictured. Like, no, I've always, oh my gosh, pictured so much more for myself and for him, and it's just crazy to like not be where I want to be.
What's the plan for Friday night?
Well, the plan for the next few days is like building up like some sort of money to like prepare for Friday, so that we're not like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Like,
Harder to plan for the future when
yeah.
the next day is so unstable.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So like it's just, I mean, hopefully we'll get another room by Friday.
If not, what happens?
I don't know. Like honestly, it's either like outside or like going back, and neither are great. So like I don't know.
Have you had to sleep outside in the past?
I have, yeah, but I've never done it with him.
So where are we going right now?
So right there, where it says Delaney,
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
That is in an attempt to get you into some housing.
Yeah, or, I mean, this is an intake, so yeah, but it's, I'm hopefully supposed to get me somewhere.
Do you have income?
I do not.
You do not have any income. All right, well, that makes it difficult when you don't have income.
Yeah.
Are the ones that you're interested in? No evictions, that's great. Do you have a hotel voucher?
Yes, that's what I have right now. So
For-
it's a 3-day.
There's like a 1 to 3 year waiting list on all those?
You said 1 to 3 year waiting list?
For all the subsidized housing in Sacramento, you got the 1 to 3 year waiting list. No, that's just a list that our main office came up with. They called in and found out these have the shortest wait lists of all.
Oh wow.
These are the shortest wait
These are the shortest wait lists.
5, 6, 7 years. Right now, no plan for tomorrow?
Yeah, no plan yet. No plan. I've been trying to save money, and I have like $40. So I'm halfway there.
Now, how much more do you need for a motel stay?
So it just depends. Like, they have a $100 deposit for most places, and then there's like 80 to 90 at most.
How hard is it not to know what Friday's going to be like?
It's honestly kind of like what I've been doing for weeks. So I'm not really all that afraid. And just kind of being like, you know what, like, okay, prepare for tomorrow. Like, what do we got to do to keep Gavin inside?
Look at this. I mean, here you go.
That's kind of the reason we wanted to bring it outside too, because, you know, as you walk around, you're immediately confronted by it.
Everywhere we go. You know, it's not unique to Sacramento, but it, you know, to me, it is the #1 challenge we face in this community.
And I don't think it's any secret that there are a lot of communities that would say, I want to help in terms of solving the homeless issue, but I don't want a homeless shelter or a triage center in my backyard. It's sort of that mindset. How do you change that mindset?
Well, first of all, we did change the mindset in North Sacramento. The people, you know, there's still some people opposed, but the majority of people who said no way ever, talk to them now.
You still have a lot of communities saying, we
I
don't
understand.
really want this here.
Well, of course nobody wants, I understand that, but I put the question differently to people. Homelessness is no longer just a downtown issue.
Yeah.
You go out to the neighborhoods, you go to all of our major parks, and it is there. Would you rather have people out in the park? Would you rather have people out on the streets, out on the sidewalk, along the business corridors? Or would you rather have people sheltered? Would you rather give something different to try? People who are homeless at one point were not. And many of them lived fragile lives even before they became homeless. But for many people, and everybody's circumstance is different, there was a point in time, there was a moment, there was a day, there was a week, there was a month where they went from fragile but having shelter to still fragile but couch surfing or motel voucher or shelter or the streets themselves. Understanding that point in time and providing the right kinds of intervention, we can do a much better job. We must do a better job.
Ow! I bumped my head. Holy moly! Daddy!
Yeah.
So hard to get. Hey, hey.
Do you guys know what you're doing tonight?
Well, probably be in a tent tonight.
You don't play
because
with me, Pokemon.
I will play later. I promise.
I want to be in the hotel still.
Okay. Because I checked on the spot, make sure everything was still good. The storm's hopefully gone for now.
Daddy, this time I want to go to new hotel.
No?
New one. I want to go to a new one.
But Daddy has to go get work first.
Please?
How much of an understanding do you think he has of homelessness?
Not much. I mean, I'm trying to get him to understand we're not going to be in the tent forever. The tent is not a house. It's not permanent. But then again, anything could happen. Even if you're in a house, you can lose everything in an instant, as I've found out several times in life.
Taking her word.
Have you been over there before?
Yeah. So it's you know, familiar territory, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, don't.
How does Gavin normally respond?
He really likes it because you know, he gets to play with another kid, so that's cool. And yeah,
Nice.
and it's warm and.
Okay.
I don't want Gavin to be like, you know, even thinking about like, oh, I have to sleep outside, or you know, worried about that at all, because that's my job to worry about it, you know.
Okay.
Like, but outside of that, I feel like I don't know, like mixed emotions, like happy that, you know, we've got like these next few days figured out, but then from there it is kind of like hard because, you know, there's a lot of unknown. Oh my gosh, you're silly.